Yi Qianxin was sent flying from the energy's impact. She dropped to the floor with a thud. "Pick her up?" Zhou said nonchalantly. "Why, yes." The two female cultivators were scared witless. They hastily helped Yi Qianxin onto the bed. Zhou waved his arm and walked up to bed and looked at Yi Qianxin. Indeed, there aren't any primal qi in her dantian or sea of qi. He raised his hand and placed his palm on Yi Qianxin's forehead. Upon seeing this, Mingshi and Duan Muxing fell to their knees immediately. "Master," Zhou lowered his hand. However, Yi Qianxin had to be punished. He placed his palm softly on her forehead. A faint wisp of primal qi surrounded her before a peculiar thing happened. Yi Qianxin's skin tone changed again. It was now like a jasper with a faint sheen. At the same time, her hair, arms, and the rest of her body turned transparent before she began to levitate in the air. Duan Muxing was greatly shocked. "That's right, Abai," Mingshi said with a nod. "Why is Master doing this?" Mingshi looked at the situation in the room again before he pulled Duan Muxing and little Yuan out. When they were outside, he sighed and said, "Junior Sister Qianxin has a rough life. When she fearlessly joined the Evil Sky Pavilion many years ago, her talents were nothing special. However, her cultivation base improved in leaps and bounds. The annihilation of the Fish Dragon Village is probably her motivation. Junior Sister Qianxin was cold and heartless, but she never complained about Master's criticisms and temper. Hence, Master granted her the amorous hoop. The amorous hoop isn't really amorous. Instead, it symbolizes hatred. I still don't understand," little Yuana mumbled. "The reason Junior Sister Qianxin's cultivation base improved so quickly is due to her being a bai. Since ancient times, the bays were exceptionally gifted in cultivation. I'm afraid that Master's palm strike bodes ill for her." "Bodes ill for her?" "That might not be the case. If Master wants to kill her, he would have done so when we captured her. Why would he wait until now?" Duan Muxing and little Yuana were confused. Mingshi continued to say, "If Junior Sister Qianxin dies, she only has herself to blame. That's the consequence of betraying Master, denouncing the Patriarch, and defecting from the Evil Sky Pavilion. If she lives, it means that her destined time isn't up." "You're saying the bays might have some special ability that preserves their lives?" Duan Muxing asked, puzzled. "Maybe. I don't know much about the bays." Mingshi said. Little Yuan said with a pout, "Senior brother, based on your words, it seems like Senior Sister Qianxin has had it rough." At this moment, Zhou finally walked out of the room. His expression was indifferent as usual. "Master." The three disciples bowed in unison when they saw Zhou. Zhou glanced at three of them and said, "Life and death are decided by the heavens." As soon as he finished speaking, he turned around and left. Mingshi could not help but worry. He entered the room immediately. He saw Yi Qianxin lie on the bed and rushed over to examine her. There was no aura nor pulse. His eyes widened in astonishment as he staggered backward. The two derived Moon Palace's female cultivators were crying uncontrollably on their knees beside the bed. Mingshi could not believe this. He circulated his primal qi and infused it into Yi Qianxin's meridians. "HM? What's this?" No matter how he tried to infuse his primal qi, Yi Qianxin was like a rock, unmoving. His primal qi was completely blocked from entering her body. Her extraordinary 8 meridians are completely sealed. "Abai!" Mingshi hastily lowered his hands and turned to look at the two female cultivators. He asked in a deep voice, "Before Master left, did he say anything?" Pavilion Master said that life and death are decided by the heavens. Whether Palace Master survives or not, it depends on her fate. Mingshi muttered to himself, as expected. Meanwhile, the general's mansion in Changning. "General, there's a letter from the palace. The messenger emphasized that you should open it yourself." Wei Zhuyen received the letter. He opened it and went through it carefully. After reading its contents, he slammed the letter on the table. Bang! The letter and the table were instantly destroyed. The audacity! Wei Zhuyen's eyes were burning with rage. Wei's Rien's subordinate ventured carefully. General, what is it that angers you so? A trivial matter. Wei's Rien waved his hand and said, draft a reply for me. Say that I'm informed about this. Understood. The subordinate left. Wei's Rien scoffed and said, a mere witchcraft cultivator dares to order me around. Preposterous. Then he barked, Men. Yes, General. I'm feeling unwell. I won't be attending any feast, Wei's Rien said. Then what about His Highness's side? I'm not going. Understood. When Zhou returned to the Evil Sky Pavilion, he went to the hidden chamber and began to study the heavenly writing. After half a day of poring over the text, his mental state was rejuvenated. After Zhou was done, he shifted his attention to the mysterious box again. He raised his right hand, and Unnamed appeared in his hand. Bam! 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 Zhou wielded Unnamed and swung at the sword several times. It merely left a few marks on the mysterious box. Even then, the marks only remained for a few moments before it disappeared. The mysterious box was restored to its original appearance. The box was more hardy than he had expected. Perhaps I need some sort of key? Zhou muttered to himself when he saw a groove on top of the box. Its pattern was quite peculiar. He manipulated Unnamed until it matched the pattern of the groove on the box before inserting it into the groove. The pattern suddenly changed. Clack! Unnamed was repelled. Zhou raised his hand and recalled Unnamed. The sword vanished into thin air. Then he sent several waves of energy at the box. Bam! 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 Stupid box. Meanwhile, outside the hidden chamber, Mingshi and the others who had just arrived near the hidden chamber heard the commotion inside. Master is angry again. Liu Yuan mumbled. Many things have happened recently. It's only natural for Master to be angry. Senior brother, will senior sister Qin be all right? Liu Yuan asked softly. I can't be sure. Master said that it depends on her luck. The three of them shook their heads. Be zizzity. The hidden chamber's rock door slid open slowly. The three of them immediately held their breaths. They did not dare to continue their discussion. They saw their master swing his arm before a wave of energy carried a mysterious box into the great hall. Zhou slowly walked up to them with his hands on his back. Master. Three of them called out in unison. Mingshi. Yes, Master. You always have the most ideas. This box is extremely mysterious. I'll leave it to you for now. Find a way to open it, Zhou said slowly. Yes, Master. Mingshi grinned when he saw the box. I like simple tasks like this the most. Zhou walked up the stairs and slowly sat down. As soon as he sat down, his three disciples immediately straightened up. They did not dare to behave carelessly. However, he did not look at them and continued entertaining his own thoughts. Curly, I have 8,762 merit points. It seems like a lot, but it's still not enough for me to buy the 6 recombinant trigram lines. Initially, I planned to purchase item cards for when I need them. However, if I recklessly buy them, the prices would go up. I have no choice but to spend my energy to improve my cultivation base, although their cultivation bases are good. It's still impossible to take them on missions like killing Wei Zhuyan. When Zhou thought about his disciples, he finally said, How's the improvement of your cultivation bases coming along? Duanmu Sheng hastily bowed and said, I've had some breakthrough with my Divine One technique. I think I can attain a 2-leaf avatar within a month. Mingshi said, My cultivation base is at the 1-leaf avatar stage. You're not concealing your strength? Zhou stared at Mingshi. After all, he discovered this fellow had intentionally concealed his strength when he was fighting Zhang Qiuqi. Mingshi hastily said, Master, I'm telling the truth. I daren't hide things from you. Zhou nodded. He looked at little Yuaner, who was standing at the side. Yuaner, what about you? Little Yuaner blushed. She stammered, Peak Divine Court Realm. When she finished speaking, she fell to her knees and said, I'll break through to the nascent divinity tribulation realm as soon as I can. Of Zhou's 9 disciples, apart from Old Eighth and Old Fifth, little Yuaner was the only one who was still in the divine court realm. Little Yuan felt ashamed when she thought about this. Zhou did not mind much. However, he did feel their overall strength was slightly weak. If they wanted to stand firm in the cultivation world, they would at least need cultivation bases with 5-leaf or 6-leaf. The strongest of his disciples was Duanmu, who was close to attaining a 2-lead avatar. Indeed, they were quite weak. Ding Fanqiu had a 5-leaf cultivation base, Fan Xiuan had an 8-leaf cultivation base, and Hua Wudao had a 6-leaf cultivation base. When he made the comparison, he truly felt his disciples were unpresentable. Thus he said to them, "You'll have to work harder on your cultivation." "Yes, master." 3 of them replied in unison. They were shocked as well. Their master would not care about them like this in the past. It was considered good as long as he did not hold anything back from them. At this moment, a female cultivator's voice rang from outside the great hall. "Zhao Yu requests an audience." Zhou's 3 disciples instinctively turned to look. Zhou said calmly, "Let her in." Zhao Yu walked into the great hall, with 2 female cultivators escorting her. This sinful disciple pays respect to master. Zhao Yu respectfully kneeled on the ground. "Raise your head," Zhou said indifferently. Zhao Yu lifted her head slowly. She flinched when her eyes met Zhou's eyes. The golden lotus on Zhao Yu's forehead had disappeared. "I'm grateful for your mercy, master. The witchcraft restriction has been lifted," Zhao Yu said with slight trepidation. "How's your cultivation base?" "I've recovered about 1/5 of it. I'll need 1 month to completely recover," Zhao Yu answered honestly. When she finished speaking, she kowtowed as she said, "I know that I've made a mistake. I beg for a chance to redeem myself, master." Upon hearing this, Mingshi Yin and Duanmu kneeled down as well. Although little Yuan was a beat slower, she followed suit as well. However, she seemed puzzled by this. Zhou glanced at the other 3 before he said, "Zhao Yu?" "Yes, master." "I'll give you an opportunity to redeem yourself," Zhou said. "Thank you, master. I won't let you down." Zhao Yu was overjoyed. Zhou noticed that Zhao Yu's loyalty had increased by 15%. Currently, the Evil Sky Pavilion was weak. He had to focus on increasing his disciples' loyalty and improving their cultivation bases. At the same time, he had to earn merit points. The truth behind the Fish Dragon village had been brought to light, and he could not rush things on Wei Zhuyan's side as well. When he thought about this, he said, "In these few days, put all your cultivation methods down in writing and present them to me." "Huh? Write down our cultivation methods." The disciples were dumbfounded. "Do it. No questions," Zhou said in a tone that brooked no arguments. "Yes, master." Zhou had ordered his disciples to do this because he was not certain if his disciples were cultivating the right and complete methods. His lost memories were most probably related to his disciples. If the cultivation methods they were taught were defective, it would become a huge obstacle to their improvements. After a while, he waved his arm and left. The 4 of them exchanged glances. "Old Fourth, you're the one with brains. What's master playing at?" Duanmu asked as he scratched his head. "How would I know?" Mingshi Yin carried the box and began studying it. Compared to writing down his cultivation method, studying the box was more interesting to him. Zhao Yu said emotionally, "In any case, there's no doubt that master has changed. 5th junior sister, you're much more fortunate than junior sister Qianxin. Her fate is now in limbo. We're not sure if she can make it," Mingshi Yin said. Zhao Yu was shocked by Mingshi Yin's words. What happened to junior sister Qianxin? Mingshi Yin sighed and said, "She's now in a deep slumber. It's best not to ask further. I don't want to guess master's intentions." "Are you saying that master is so simple-minded that you don't want to guess his intentions?" Duanmu asked. Mingshi Yin's eyes widened as he said, "Sure." 3rd senior brother, "I said no such thing. Master is very intelligent." Little Yuana's eyes brightened as she said loudly, "Oh, I know. You're saying master is stupid." Mingshi Yin carried the box and vanished into thin air. A bone-headed teammate could do you more harm than the most formidable opponent. He left for a quiet place behind the mountain. As soon as Mingshi Yin arrived, He placed the box on a rock. He stroked his chin as he studied the box intently. The box was unlike anything he had ever seen. There were no gaps, no notches, no cover. It was a perfect cube. Regardless of what kind of box you are, a heaven-grade weapon can definitely break you. Ming Sure raised his right hand, and his separation hook and scabbard appeared in his hand.